All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to learn how to clean these front mix-in jars. I am currently on the lobby side. As you can see right there, look at the Oreo cookie, look at the graham cracker, the gummy bears. Look how much of a mess they are in front. We don't want them looking like this. Now, if they're like this for a day or two, that's one thing. As I'm making this video, I've been in here day after day, week after week, and they continue to stay the same. So let's learn how you're supposed to clean these mix-in jars. This is an individual task. If on your schedule it says the letter E, this is what you are going to do so that they don't look like this. All right, let's go. Okay, now it's early in the day. I'm not cleaning the whole stone right now. I hope you know how to clean the stone. I did that in a different video. We're going to talk about how to clean this. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is, as I take one of the jars off like this, I'm going to wipe the top off of it. And then I'm going to place it up here. So as I do the jars, I'm trying to clean them. I'm trying to keep things as clean as I can. Okay? Wipe on top, put it up. When you put it up, make sure it doesn't go over the edge and you drop it. Each of these jars is like $40. Be careful, but you want to put it towards the back because you need the room on the front. Okay? So I'm going to do that. As you can see, it doesn't take long. I have a wet rag and I'm ready to go. One at a time. I'm actually going slower than I really need to. Some jars will need a little bit more TLC than others because people don't do what they're supposed to. And hopefully you're going to start doing it and we won't have this issue in the future. Okay. Now normally I would do both sides, but for this video I'm just going to do one. Now we're going to do the glass jars. Again, we're going to pull the glass jar out and we are going to use our rag and we are going to wipe the entire glass jar down. Okay, notice how it says rainbow sprinkles. That's the part I'm going to want to face the customer. So that's the part the customer sees. As I place it up, I want to see it. Again, you can do this quickly, but don't do it too quickly so that you break the stone, which happened, or break one of these jars. Again, the Oreos was one of the ones that were a mess. Okay? So I'm going to do this to every single one of the jars. If this is done the 2 to 3 times the week that is required, this shouldn't take long to wipe. But it's not been done very often. I've got to do some excess wiping, which takes a while. Okay? So again, the labels are actually inside the jars, making it easier. All right, so since this is a video, we're going to speed up. I'm going to get all these cleaned and then I'll come back to you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I've cleaned off all the jars. I brought them up. You can see the labels are facing forward. I know this one doesn't have a label. Excuse me, if it doesn't have a label, then it's not going to necessarily matter the direction. I'm working on doing that now. But you want the labels facing the front. Now, take a look here. Look down there, you can see there is a mess. It is your responsibility to clean that mess. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to get my rag and I'm going to wipe it. And there is quite a bit of stuff here, which tells me people haven't done this in a while. So I'm going to wipe it and I'll come back to you. But just remember, right now I have to be extra cautious because this is clean. But at the end of the night, you're doing this after the stone is off. It's going to be a little bit wet. So be careful as you're leaning over so you don't get soaked. But you still have to get this clean. So let me wipe all this up and then I'll come back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have wiped the counter down real good. It took me a little bit of time because it was a little bit dirty. Now I have to do the glass. I do not wipe the glass with a rag. If it's super baked on and I wipe it with a rag, I can do that first. But next comes glass cleaner and paper towel. We don't use a rag. I have to clean the inside. So I'm going to squirt the inside, getting it good. Again, I'm being cautious because my stone is actually going to be used at the end of the night. You still want to be cautious, but you can be a little less because of it. Okay, again, this hasn't been done in a little bit of time, so it's going to take me a while, but you get the idea. I'm going to clean this. For those of you that are on a little shorter side, I understand it's a little bit more difficult. Maybe somebody that's taller, they can do you a favor, or you're just going to have to lean over or stand on a stool or whatever it takes. So let me get this done and I'll come back. All right, I've cleaned that glass. The next part of the glass I'm going to clean is the top. I'm going to squirt it on a rag. I'm going to wipe the top underlying lip. This is part of the glass. Okay? I'm going to do some of it now, and I'm going to finish it after these mix-in jars are put down so I can see. This is part of the glass that I sprayed on and I have to clean. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We have our jars here. Earlier I said the jars. Here in Boynton, I fixed some of the jars. If you ever see something that's like, oh, Mike, fix this, I'll do my best with it. Okay, so now that my glass is clean, I'm going to take the jars and I'm going to carefully take them off the top, turn them so the label is facing front. This should be easy to do because you stacked them appropriately. Okay, it's imperative that the label faces the front so that the customers know exactly what it is and there's no issues, and so on. Again, it doesn't take long to make sure the label's facing one way, and we turn and we push it in. Okay, next we're going to do the jars. Now hopefully when you put the jars up and you put them down, you keep them in the same order. This same order should be the most popular mix-ins towards the center, the least popular mix-ins towards the outside. Doesn't make sense if there's a popular mix-in, you have to reach over a bunch of people, so try to do it. And when putting them down, since they're already clean, this should not take a long time. All right, let's head to the front and take a look now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here on the stone, this is the side that I just completed. This is the side that hasn't been done in a while. Okay, take a look. You can see the glass is clean. The outside of the glass isn't what it's supposed to be. I'm going to get on the cleaning crew about that. But you can see it's nice and clean. Whereas on this side, you tell me which one looks better. Make sure that when you do your individual task of E, you do it the way I just showed you. You neatly do it, put it down, wipe them down. If this is done the 2 to 3 times a week that is required, it will be fast. If it's never done, it takes a while to scrub those things. So make sure that they're done. The last thing I would do, of course, is finish cleaning the underside of the glass. It's now that I can see the sneeze guard. Again, if you ever have any questions, contact me and let me know and I can go through it. But this is how it's supposed to be done. Thank you.